Hey guys, as you can see today, we're working in Jordan's dad's friend's garage. There we go. And we're going to be doing an entire suspension upgrade on his Hilux Surf. It's a 3.0 limited, and you said it was 95? There we go. So, if you want, stay tuned, and we're just going to go through. Right now, we're just putting it on the lift. Alright guys, so we're looking at the rear here, and if you take a look, we've got a bolt here, which is holding on this gas shock, and then on the top here, which is right on there, we're going to have another bolt, which it's pretty easy to spot if you're looking up. It's just going to be directly above the shock absorber. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to size up a bolt here so we can crack them loose and get that old one out, and then we're going to be putting in our new babies, as you can see. So for this one, it was just a 17. Alright guys, so if you look right here, you'll actually see it's a 12. I'm using a ratcheting wrench. So on the top end of your rear shock here, it's just going to be a 12 bolt on the very top, which we're going to have to loosen up. Alright guys, so as you can see right here, what we've done is we put the bottom piece in here, put the bolt, we have our hardware ready to go. And with us, since we're on a lift, the springs aren't compressed, so we're going to have to line these up as we lower the vehicle. And then once it's on the ground, this pin, or the threads are going to go through the hole where the old shock went, and then we'll assemble the rest of it. And I'll just show you on this side because I got a light here. Maybe I can show you better. So see, what we're going to do is we're going to hold it right here, and we'll have a person on each side as we lower it, and we'll just put them through the hole. So that way our spring here is compressed. If you're doing this with it already on the ground, the spring's already compressed, so you don't have to worry about this part. But if you're using a lift, you will need to. Alright, so other than that, the hardware on the top goes the same way. You got your pan here, you got your rubber washer right here, or bushing, and then of course that's where it'll go through after it's through the other side of the plate. On the part that's sticking up, you'll put the other bushing, and then you'll put the other plate, and then you'll put the first nut on and the second nut. The other thing is on the bottom here, as you can see, they had a bushing and a washer here. That all got removed for us because we aren't going to be using that. We're just going to be using this because our bushing will press against there, and then we've got our washer and then our bolt head. So it'll just go just like that. And yeah, that's it for the back end. Now we're just going to go and put in our new torsion bars. Alright guys, so as you can see here, you got Jordan on one side, the shock, I'm on the other side. This is the front, and he's loosening that one off as I hold back here with this one. It's pretty easy, straightforward, and that's just for the bottom bolt. So stay tuned and we'll show you how to get the tops. The tops seem to be the tougher one, because it's just on the top cat, and of course it spins the top half of the shock. So once I find a trick for that, I'll show you. Took a pry bar, we crammed it in here, we held this up and squeezed it up against here, and then we took it off with an air ratchet, and that's how you get the top out. And these are the bad boy new ones going in. Just gonna make our boots look pretty again. It's alright, it'll get squishy anyway and fix itself up. But yeah, so that's just gonna go in there now. And then same thing for the other side, and we're going to go back over there, and we're going to do the same to the rear, is try and jam something up against the collar of each shock and then pull off the bolt. But yeah, so these are the pretty new ones. Stay tuned. And of course, we'll show you. You got to put the hardware in there, Jordan.
Oops, I was jumping the gun a little bit.
So he was checking his fitment, we'll say. Isn't that right, Jordan? So that's what she said. No. So as you can see, you're gonna have hardware, new hardware that looks like that. Make sure you have new hardware.
That's for the
And there's your box of new hardware. We might as well show them how you assemble the hardware on top, because it comes in pieces.
Comes with stickers too.
Stickers?
Why is there two?
Because that's what's supposed to happen.
Oh.
Here, give me.
Let's see. Tariq is the master.
Stuff it in the hole.
Why is there two nuts?
I thought you were supposed to put this on there, Tariq.
It goes on top.
Oh, wow. So I guess it's the.
So I gotta stuff another
that's
rubber on
cool.
top.
The new one
Which way does
has that. Whereas if you take a look at this one, the old one just had one sandwich, as I like to call it, or Oreo. This one's gonna have 2 Oreos.
The nuts
So
this way?
Yeah.
we're getting
The
double
bolt
the
changes in the
chocolate.
back. The bolt's backwards.
Oh, there's 10 horsepower sitting on the floor. Look at that, a new sticker. Gonna have to put
There's
that.
one in each box. That's a total of 40 horsepower.
That's 40 horsepower just for changing your
I
shocks.
know. Wow.
What have we thought? Man, what have we been thinking here? Okay, so are we going to put that other sandwich on there?
Yeah, this goes on top.
Cool. So with the particular shock we're doing, like I said, it's just going to be the first silver piece, our sandwich, and then we're going to put another silver piece or another sandwich on top, the black one. And the top one is smaller, isn't it? Yeah. This one looks a bit small.
Oh, this is the retaining one.
But
That's
yeah.
what that is.
It's a jam nut.
Yeah.
Jam nut.
Jam nut.
Sweet.
Give me parts. We keep just walking around with parts instead of putting them on. What the hell? Man?
Yep.
I'm very excited, but
Excitement doesn't start. So as you can see, what Tariq did there, another sandwich on top.
you should probably like
Yep.
point it out.
No, you can.
Can you see? Oh, there you go.
So better view of his fingers screwing the bolt on. And then, if you look, we also have a second bolt. And what that's going to do is after you tighten this one, and this is all tightened up, you take that second bolt and you put it on, and it stops the other bolt from backing up. Alright guys, so if you look up here, you'll see the torsion bar, which is right there. And there's a cover that's right here that we need to take off. So we've got a 12, and we took, and we're just taking off this plastic cover. It's probably just a wire cover. Couple screws. Yeah, or no, actually, wow, it is, mind you, Japanese. So we're just gonna take that off so we can get better access to this torsion bar. It's up there. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So what we're doing right now is we're removing the sway bar. There will be a bolt in here. So you're gonna put a wrench on here, and then a ratchet on here, and then a wrench on here. As you can see, we're using an air ratchet to make it. But yeah, you just need to remove them so that way we have better access. So you've got these 10 mils under here, so we'll be removing that. And like I said, just the bolts right here, and then this whole thing pops right out of the way. And you have to do that on this side and the other side. So do that so we can get at the torsion bars. So the next thing, if you're looking underneath, is we're going to be taking this bolt off. And then from there, what else would... Are we just using some penetrating lube right now?
To get
Yeah.
into this big bolt right here that basically holds the entire mechanism
Okay.
together.
So some here...
tensioner in there.
Oh, and this is the top of the bolt?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at the front end of the bolt, like so, if you put your hand right up on top, you'll feel the threads. Just shoot some penetrating lube up on there so that when it's coming through, it'll just make your job a little bit easier. So that way we can drop that. Alright guys, so as you can see, he's holding the bolt. Remember I told you to lube the threads? There's going to be a bolt up there. It's sometimes hard to click, and George's just going to be smacking this bolt off the bottom so that way we can get this part loose. As you can see, it's a little bit more difficult than you probably thought because Jordan's got his breaker bar and we're having to do it that way. We've read up on a couple forums, and apparently this is definitely the
Yeah, but more lube.
really hard part of this project. So yeah, so we're trying to drop that case still. Make sure you got a lot of lube on hand, and make sure you got a breaker bar, or make sure you also have an impact gun. It's just with this one, it's seen a lot of use, as you can see with the vehicle. So yours might be easier, yours might be harder. Alright guys, so if you remember, there's this piece which is up in here, which is what that bolt was holding. And what we had to do was, after we loosened those two off the front, like I was showing you earlier, then you push this forward like this, right? And then that came out of there, and then we have this out. Now we're going to shoot a whole bunch of penetrating stuff, and we'll get that out of there so we can put our new torsion bar in. And yeah, we're just going to do that to the other side. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to be doing is for the torsion bar. As you can see, once our shock's out of the way, what you're going to do is take something with leverage, and you're going to jam it in here, and you're going to move it. I'll show you once we get one of them out so I can show you, but yeah, we're just basically going to be getting this out of here after we've loosened it, and you'll see. Alright, so what we're doing now is we got a 17 and we're loosening the bracket up on here. We decided that was the best way to go.
The torsion bar doesn't want to release. We have
Yeah.
to pull it out and coax it out.
Yeah, and we have a second bolt on this side. So I'll hold this, keep going.
Oh, thank
It'll
you.
be fine. I think we'll be fine. Oh, no. Alright, I'm going to have to grab another 17.
You grab a 17.
And we'll hold on to the back, guys. So as you can see there, there's a plate right here, a service plate on this side. It's much more difficult to do on your passenger side to get that torsion bar holder off right here. We snuck it in and around the header right there with the breaker bar, and then on this side we're going to loosen that off so we can access the 17 on this side to remove that. Alright guys, so if you see there's a pinhole on here, what we did is we filled this full of penetration grease and it drained into that hole and it seeped in around the bar and it went down there. Now the other reason why I'm showing you this is because we tapped on here lightly and the bar fell out. You can do that. Just make sure that you don't start whamming on this thing because that's a plate. Okay? So now we're going to go and we're going to get the other side out. So we have both torsion bars out and then we'll put them both back in. Alright guys, so this is keyed. What you want to do is you'll see that there's this one that's got a flat spot on it and there's an arrow for it. And then on there's going to be a flat spot. So you got to match them, and then once you squeeze it on like so, now you just slide it back in the same route that you took it off and put those two bolts back in.
Don't grab the cap.
No.
Yes, do not grab the cap there, Jordan. And then yeah, you feed it in like that, line it up with your bolts and drop it on.
Keep going.
And then put your nuts on to hold that one on, and then put the bolt or that piece just like you took it off in the back. Make sure you lose lots of grease like so. You want to keep it so that way, so dirt doesn't get in there, and it makes it easier for if you ever have to pull them out. So grease both cap ends, and then just slide in your torsion bar. Alright guys, so I'm under the vehicle, and if you look, see that white mark there? That is where our spline is. That's that little flat part. Master spline. There you go. So, and there's a nub that you'll feel. See how there's that nub that's on the black part? See, that lines up with that. So, what you have to do is you get that cap up there, you slide it up there, and you're going to need about 2 people to do this, maybe even 3. And then once you get that one in, then you have to do the job of getting it on the cap back here. Now, this is the most difficult one because you have to do this one pretty much outside the vehicle to know where it is. And then if you have some whiteout, put some whiteout where it lines up, and that's about the best you can do. But yeah, once it works, it works. It only fits in one way. You have to put the front in first, and then you can put the back in.
That was just holding it.
Alright guys, so if you take a look what we're doing here to get the new one, because the new one is of course not compressed yet. We are compressing it, and we're just slowly going to line up the eyelets here. You can see our eyelets almost lined up. Just needs a little bit of readjustment.
There we go.
There you go. Birth. No. And then now we put the nut on the back, and that's one complete shock in. So at this point you're going to just put your front shocks back in. I've already showed you how to put the front shocks in, showed you how to put the rear shocks in. And the only thing that's left now is tightening the torsion bar bolt, which is that big bolt on the bottom. Now, Tariq, when you tighten it, that raises the vehicle?
Yes.
Okay, so as you tighten it, your vehicle will raise. As you, of course, loosen it, the vehicle will lower. That's how the torsion bar works. So that's the only adjustments you have left. Make sure you pay attention to how you're tightening it, and if you can always level the vehicle and stuff like that. I hope this video helped you out for doing this, putting this together. I know I'm not doing too much on how much to do with the, how much to adjust, but it's all to, how you want to put it. Other than that, if you found the vehicle or the video sort of helpful, press that like button. And of course, subscribe for more videos. Thanks again. Have a great day.